Hello everyone and welcome to Restorative Health Solutions. If you understand what's making you sick, then you can start to understand how to get better. More information is power.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul, and today we're going to talk about how mold in your environment can impact your gut health. So where are we exposed to mold, and what are mycotoxins? The main mold exposure that we're referring to is from water-damaged buildings, from our home, our cabin, our workplace, and even in our vehicles. Mold loves to feed off of cellulose and carbohydrates, such as sheetrock, lumber, insulation, wallpaper, plaster, carpet or carpet padding, and even dust. And mycotoxins are the gas or the flatulence released by the mold spores. If you see visible mold, those are mold spores. The mycotoxins that the mold spores release are invisible and odorless. You can have an allergy to the mold spore, but it's the mycotoxins that typically make us the most sick. These mycotoxins can get into our body by breathing them in, and they can even get right through our skin because they're so small. Also, we breathe about 20,000 times per day, so the amount of mold exposure and mycotoxin exposure can be significant if we're in a water-damaged building. There are also certain foods that naturally contain mycotoxins, but the level of mycotoxins in our food is much less when compared to the amount of mycotoxins we'd be exposed to in a water-damaged building. Foods that are naturally high in mycotoxins include grains, cereals, nuts, peanuts, coffee, beans, dried fruits, animal products from contaminated feed, and alcoholic beverages. So how does mold and mycotoxins impact the immune system and inflammation? Mycotoxins can significantly increase inflammation, suppress our immune system, and disrupt immune tolerance, which can lead to multiple chemical sensitivity and increased food sensitivities or food reactions. So how do mycotoxins impact the gut barrier and the microbiome? Mycotoxins are well known for damaging the gut barrier and causing leaky gut, which then allows the passage of undigested food proteins, toxins, and LPS, which is an endotoxin from gut bacteria, to enter the bloodstream and increase inflammation. The mycotoxins enter the gut and can kill off or suppress a lot of our keystone beneficial bacteria, such as lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. This can allow the opportunistic or dysbiotic bacteria to better survive and become overgrown, such as Klebsiella, Pseudomonas, Morganella, Citrobacter, Prevotella, etc. It can also allow yeast and fungus such as Candida and parasites to better survive as well. Mycotoxins can also deplete key nutrients such as glutathione, magnesium, and zinc, which are needed for the beneficial bacteria to thrive. Since we know that mold and mycotoxins can directly impact the gut, here are some common digestive symptoms we see with mold and mycotoxin exposure: gas and bloating, abdominal pain or cramping, diarrhea, constipation, acid reflux or heartburn, nausea or loss of appetite, and food sensitivities or reactions to food. On a side note, the severity of symptoms can differ significantly from person to person based off the amount of exposure to mold and mycotoxins, the length of exposure, along with other things like genetic predispositions, how healthy the diet is, how many other toxins someone is exposed to, the health of their microbiome prior to the mold exposure, how many nutrient deficiencies are present, how healthy the adrenal glands are, etc. As mentioned above, mycotoxins can significantly increase inflammation and also can increase oxidative stress. The impact that mycotoxins have on the gut and microbiome can negatively impact nutrient absorption, which then significantly increases your chances to develop nutritional deficiencies. Mold exposure and increased levels of mycotoxins can also make someone more susceptible to developing SIBO. This can occur because the mycotoxins can damage and compromise the gut barrier or gut lining, making it more likely to develop leaky gut. Mycotoxins can also decrease the activity of the migrating motor complex, or the MMC, which moves the stool and microbes like bacteria and toxins down the GI tract. Lastly, mycotoxins can also suppress the immune system at the level of the gut, which makes the overgrowth of bacteria more likely. This, combined with a decrease in the migrating motor complex activity, can allow the bacteria from the colon to travel north up into the small intestine. Next, what are some strategies that we can use to protect and support optimal gut health? From a mold and mycotoxins perspective, the number one thing that we can do to protect and support optimal gut health is to make sure that we're breathing clean air. Whether it's your home, your cabin, your workplace, or even your vehicle, we need to make sure of the following. You need to make sure that indoor humidity is less than 45%, In the hot, humid months, dehumidifiers and air conditioning are typically needed to keep the levels low. We need to filter the air with a good air filter and a good air purifier. And in some cases, we may need to get the home and air tested by a reputable mold inspector, especially if there's a history of water damage or if mycotoxin levels are high in the body. We also want to encourage gut-healthy foods such as daily veggies rich in color, bitter greens, cruciferous veggies, healthy fats like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, tallow, natural fibers that act as binders like chia seeds, flax seeds, psyllium husk, etc. On a side note, there are some people that may not be able to tolerate these foods because of GI symptoms. There are many steps beyond these basic concepts, but this is where working with an experienced functional medicine practitioner may be needed to provide that personalized support. In addition to testing the home, the cabin, the workplace, or even the vehicle for mold, we always test the patient for mycotoxins as well. We either test the total amount of mycotoxins being excreted by the body with a urine test, or we test their immune response to mycotoxins in a blood test. Some other tests that we consider at Restorative Health Solutions in addition to mycotoxins testing are stool testing, organic acid testing, a full environmental toxins panel, nutritional deficiencies panel, food sensitivity or food allergy testing, adrenal or cortisol panel, a comprehensive hormone panel, and more. Well, I hope you learned a little bit today about how mold and mycotoxins can impact gut health, and until next time, I'm Dr. Paul.